We live in such an exciting time right now. Slightly terrifying, but exciting nonetheless. And what I'm talking about is the AI revolution that's happening in the digital and creative space. If you have been paying attention at all, you probably have seen people talking about ChatGPT, perhaps about paid tools like Jasper. These are text generators, and there's other ones as well that generate ad copy and for other more specialized uses. We have some AI and machine learning that's happening in the video editing and audio editing space. I used a script to remove all of my long pauses, my filler words, and to edit videos. It's incredible. It does a lot of it for me, which is fantastic. And then we have tools like Midjourney and DALL-E that can produce images at increasingly better and better quality. So where does this leave us as brand visionaries, as leaders of brands? Do we shun the tools? Do we become anti-AI and put our stake in the ground as a human-only brand? Or do we embrace the technology? I'll leave that for you to answer, but I'm going to share my thought process behind the spaces where I see that tools playing a really big role, how you can use them as an entrepreneur, brand builder to your maximum benefit while maintaining the integrity and the authenticity of your brand. And then let's chat about what's next. What does the future hold as these trends continue to expand at this rapid pace? My name is Kaye Putnam. I'm the psychology-driven brand strategist. I have been building brands for over 20 years. If we go all the way back to my first business as a photographer that I started when I was 16 years old. And I've been a brand strategist working with clients for well over a decade now and have been in this online marketing space essentially since its inception. I'm a grandma in internet marketing years now. The space and the point of view that I'm taking when it comes to AI is that we don't assign morality to the other tools that we use. Teachers freaked out when calculators came into being because they worried that kids wouldn't learn anymore and that, we would all be dumb because we couldn't do mental math anymore. And thank goodness, over time, with adoption, we have learned to incorporate tools into our workflow that makes us faster, more effective. And the power in the tool isn't necessarily just in the tool, it's in the person that yields it. When I was a photographer back in those early days, I remember so many people telling me, man, I wish that my camera was as good as yours so that I could take photos as good as you. And the thing is, I can take great photos with any tool. Yes, I can understand the different limitations and the different capabilities of the different tools, but it really is the unique perspective of the person that's using the tool. And I see AI the same way. We can point and shoot with none of our unique perspective or point of view, or we can direct the tool to fashion itself or to work in the way that we intend it to work. And I think the place where we're going to see the biggest leaps and bounds is with the humans that are using this tool in their area of expertise. So yes, ChatGPT can spit out code for me and it makes coding much more accessible, but I still don't understand on a foundational level what makes good code versus bad code, and I can't tell what code does just by looking at it. I might be a frequent user of software, but I'm not a creator of software. However, somebody that knows how to code, who can use Copilot or ChatGPT as a supplement to their existing body of work, can accelerate their output dramatically. And I see the same thing happening in the creative space with copywriters, brand strategists, designers, etc. These tools aren't yet good enough to replace us, and maybe they'll continue to get better, but if we choose to leverage them, we can get better with them. And that's exactly the way that I'm approaching AI as a brand strategist. the magic, the heart, and the soul of brands still comes from our unique lived experience as the visionary, as the founder behind the brand. We still need to extract that and get it out of your brain before we can build a compelling, psychology-driven brand. And because I have developed a unique proprietary process and framework for articulating and defining brand strategy and standards, I can now use AI mixed with that unique source content from my client or from my own brain or from my students, apply my process and my framework to develop brand strategies, content, assets, etc. even faster, like exponentially faster. And because I have the foundational expertise, because I have built and developed this process myself over the years, I am able to edit and refine the output that comes out of AI. I don't have to take what it gives me in a first draft as gospel. I can ask it to refine it. I can ask it to change it in certain ways. I can rewrite it. I can add more context and details and perspective and emotion and humanness into that first draft to come up with something truly amazing faster than what was ever possible before. And then the beautiful thing as an entrepreneur, especially one that's building an online brand, once you have your unique brand source book, what I call a source book that I create for myself and my clients at the start of any engagement, once you have that source piece, you can then use that to input into these tools to generate new content that is already on brand and on focus for the strategy that you've already decided. This is making entrepreneurship even more accessible to more genius entrepreneurs like you who maybe didn't have the resources to hire a massive team or to invest in a huge agency to define your brand or to build a whole year's worth of content. All of this is becoming so much more accessible to you right now if you leverage this tool and if you do it in the right way. Garbage in equals garbage out, or generic in is going to equal generic out. If you ask ChatGPT or Jasper to just spit out an article on, insert your topic here, write an article on health and wellness, write an article on social media marketing, whatever it spits out in that first article is going to be garbage. It's going to be something that you can find in a million different places online. It's not going to have your unique brand perspective. I did this for a presentation, so it's top of mind. I asked ChatGPT to write me a story, or I was having trouble shaping a narrative. I wanted to tell a story about how important origin stories are for branding. And my own personal familial origin story is that my family is Finnish. We came from Finland. They all married each other, so I'm literally 100% Finnish by ancestry. And when they came over to the United States, they found work in the coal mines of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And my family's ticket out of that back-breaking, intense work was knowledge. My grandparents went to Michigan Technological University, also my alma mater, and got degrees, got great jobs working in different places. My grandpa worked for Ford his entire career. My grandma has a master's of science and chemistry, brilliant human being, and that was their ticket out. So for a long time, I over-relied on being smart or on intelligence when I was looking for success in branding and in business. And over the years, I've also added to that legacy by embracing the need for story, for emotion, for psychology. Again, this was the story that was rattling around in my brain, but I couldn't figure out how to articulate it. So I just input a stream of consciousness into ChatGPT, and then it was able to pop out a more coherent, structured story that I could use as a starting place to then present and teach and connect with people on this emotional way. And I would not have been able to do that as well as fast if not for the tool. Point being, you need to have the unique ideas. You need to apply a framework that works in the real world. If you don't have a framework, finding somebody like me that can teach you theirs is a fantastic shortcut. It doesn't mean that you have to spend 10 years as a brand strategist before you can get to that point. You can adopt other people's systems. You can learn and grow faster when we tap into that collective intelligence of the people that are doing this work already. And I think that for those people who are willing to have this unique point of view and willing to use the tools and a proven process, they're going to be unstoppable. It is such an amazing opportunity right now to amplify your genius, to share what you know with even more people in more places faster than ever possible before. And I personally am so excited about this revolution that's happening. What's next? What's going to happen in the future? Nobody knows, of course. We are rapidly iterating. The tools are getting better and better and faster at light speeds. We're really going to look back on this time in a few years and marvel at how much changed so quickly. And it's more important than ever, I believe, to be a leader in your space. If you're only a commodity, if you're only putting out average work, you're going to be left behind and or replaced by the machine, by other people that are increasing their capacity, or by people who are leveraging these tools better than you are. And I know that sounds harsh, but I think that that is going to be the uncomfortable revolution and the negative side effects that this transformation has. The job market that exists now will not exist 5 years from now. And one of the best high leverage things that you can do is to build a brand that connects with people on a human level. When you build a brand, it becomes a long-term asset, a platform for you to share your gifts, your genius, your story, and your humanness is more important than ever. We need to connect with each other. We need to share our stories, and your brand is the platform to help you do that. So build your brand, leverage tools to help you get it out in more places and to do it better and faster, and embrace this wave of change. Time will tell what all of the ramifications will be, but I'm going to continue to control what I can control and to focus on the things that I know I'm uniquely born and equipped to do. I am here to help entrepreneurs change the world with what they know. I revel in being able to help people build brands that impact the world. If you want support in building your brand, in leveraging this trend, and doing it in an authentic and ethical way, please stay tuned. I have a really incredible opportunity that I'm going to be announcing later. If you're on my email list, you'll be the first to know. I would love to continue this conversation in the comments below. What are you seeing? What are you experiencing? What are your thoughts and feelings about this shift that's happening in our industry? I can't wait to hear. Let's chat below.